Now, President Trump on his way back to the White House after wrapping up a high-stakes meeting with Chinese President Xi, their first since he won re-election. It happened in South Korea. They're closing key deals on tariffs, soybean exports, fentanyl, just to name a few. Our next guest served in the NSC and State Department under President Clinton, former UN official Jamie Metzl. Jamie, great to see you. Your thoughts about the meeting?
I thought it was fine. We had some progress, but it wasn't, in my view, the big win that's being touted. On one hand, the United States is pushing a lot of our partners and allies and adversaries, and we seem to be treating China a little better than Canada and Mexico and others. So what we got back was kind of the situation before this round of the trade war. And China flexed its muscles on using its monopoly on rare earth minerals and soybean purchases from us. And I think that forced us to take a little bit of a step back. So I do think that China got a bit of the upper hand, even though there were some successes on this trip more broadly.
They wanted semiconductor sales to be loosened up. He said, well, think about it. The China also wants to loosen up our technology controls. We did not budge on that. They're having trouble with their AI development because of that. China will be good to buy soybeans, which is going to immediately alleviate from the farmers. We just have to know how much. Also, I think it's pretty good that there's a spirit of cooperation between the two. The thing that my big question is, will they crack down on the fentanyl? I'm sure they could circle the exact ports that the precursors are leaving from. They promised Obama, they promised Trump, they promised Biden, and now they're going to promise Trump again. But we'll be able to follow this, and I've never seen such focus on this. So I think the other thing is there's another plan to meet in April. There's going to be an expansion of cooperation with space. And as I look at the English-speaking People's, the People's Daily, who usually, if they want to send a message to us, they'll put it here. She says, ready to work with Trump to build solid foundation for bilateral ties. So an opportunity to be negative, they ended up being positive.
Yeah, so I think that's the way China does it. They say we're moving towards negativity. They say that's why they ramped up their control of rare earth minerals and said we're going to try to tank your economy by controlling them. And then now they have this meeting of equals. Trump said Xi is a great leader. China is a powerful country. That's exactly what Xi wants and China wants. And so that headline is basically giving the message to the Chinese people, the United States and China are equal powers negotiating the world. And so that hurts us a little bit as the guarantor of a system that at least traditionally is trying to help everybody.
But I'm sure you saw the fact that he said the president's a peacemaker. He cited the peace deals he did. He says, especially with Cambodia. He says, I saluted what he did with Palestinians. He pledges to cooperate with Ukraine. And so there was a mutual compliments there. So I think that's important to bring up.
And on Ukraine, let's see what happens. I mean, right now, China is actively supporting Russia in Ukraine. There's all kinds of Chinese components in the Russian missiles that are murdering people in Ukraine every day. So the talk is good. I mean, the world is better off if the United States and China are getting along. But not at any price.
Right, which was all being done before the president took over. That happened under President Biden. He says this on Truth Social. I've instructed the Department of War to start testing our nuclear weapons on an equal basis. Back to nuclear testing, announced before the meeting. They got 600 nukes. We have over 5,000 nukes. We want them involved in these talks. And by the way, we'll go back to testing. I love that message.
I'm a bit mixed about it. On one hand, what we are seeing is China massively growing its nuclear arsenal. It was tough enough when the United States and the Soviet Union were trying to balance a two-way nuclear race.
But we want 3.
But 3 is worse for us. 3 is more complicated.
But we want all 3 meeting.
Yes, we want to bring them in. So in one, you could say, well, this move to potentially more testing will bring everybody in because everybody will say, well, geez, if we don't have controls, we're going to have unlimited proliferation, not just in Russia, China, and the United States, but everywhere. But we have a huge advantage right now, and we may lose that if everyone tests.
All right, Jamie Metzl, thanks so much.